We're not exactly sure why, but there's been a delay in getting ballot papers to Gibraltar. They were dispatched initially on the 14th of July, but as of the end of last week, no ballot papers had arrived in Gibraltar. Representations were made to the returning officer, who's now put alternative arrangements in place. And we understand that ballot papers have now started to arrive in Gibraltar.
Okay, are special arrangements being made on the actual day itself?
Well, the special arrangements are that normally the ballot papers should be returned by post to the Civica office in London. But what they're doing now, because the ballot closes at 12 noon on August the 11th, a week on Tuesday. So what they've done is they've commandeered a room in the Macintosh room in the Eliott Hotel, Grosvenor's Parade, Gibraltar. And that will be open from Sunday the 9th at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday the 10th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Tuesday the 11th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Now, members in Gibraltar who are working in Gibraltar, including those who may live outside of Gibraltar but work in Gibraltar, need to bring their ballot paper in the envelope to deposit it in the ballot box in the Macintosh room at the hotel.
Okay, now tell us what people are voting for is for a new general secretary. Can you just tell us, why that role is so important?
Well, it is a crucial role because the General Secretary is charged with leading the whole union and making sure that it's got the right direction, making sure the organisation is coherent, and is really the person that is the front face of the union regarding political lobbying, industrial disputes, and so on. So it's an absolutely crucial role. Unite, as you probably are aware, is one of the biggest unions in the UK, and we have a substantial membership in Gibraltar, which is extremely important. So we've worked very hard in our campaign. I myself have been to Gibraltar on many occasions, particularly around the Brexit time, but also to deal with the rise of the far right. And we want to make sure that people in Gibraltar are very firmly connected with the leadership of the union. In the past, there's always been a direct line between Gibraltar and the General Secretary's office. There is absolutely a feeling that that has not been the case in the last 5 years. We believe that should be restored, and we are acutely aware of the sensitivities politically in Gibraltar. It's always a complicated area with the frontier. So it's absolutely crucial that all Gibraltarians and those working in Gibraltar are not disenfranchised in this election and that their voice is heard.
And if I can just ask you one final question, why should Gibraltarians vote for you, Simon Dubbins? What would you do for Gibraltar? I know you just said that you're very engaged with Gibraltar's issues, but why you?
Well, I'll be very clear. As I said, the relationship between Gibraltar and the rest of the Union is a really strategically important one. Unlike the current General Secretary, I have been there on many, many occasions. I understand the issues that are prevalent to our members in Gibraltar in order to make sure that we don't have a two-tier workforce, that everybody is treated equally and properly, to deal with some of the problems of outsourcing and privatisation that are going on. But also the rise of the far right is extremely important in Gibraltar. If there's a change of government and we end up with a more nationalist government in Spain, then obviously that always creates issues and problems at the border. But in terms of the wider union, we've got a very clear agenda to get a new industrial strategy in place. We believe the union's withdrawn from politics and it needs to be more vocal and influential in politics. And we've had a lot of disunity in the union, which we have pledged to overcome and make sure that we are united again moving forward. So we would love to have the support of all our members in Gibraltar.
Final question, and I have to ask you this in view of the recent change of leadership in the Labour Party. What's your relationship like with Andy Burnham?
Well, look, the union is affiliated to the Labour Party with the biggest single affiliate. I don't know Andy Burnham in person, but obviously I've had a lot to do with the Labour Party over the years. We've made a very clear pledge. We will only support politicians that support us, but we believe that our voice has not been used effectively and properly with the current government. I think it's good that there's been a change. We want to see a much more pro worker agenda. And we're very confident if we can win in this campaign that we will absolutely make sure we represent Unite members' interests. And we hope and will push to make sure that Andy Burnham and the new government are listening and feeling the weight and influence of Unite.